Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So, yeah, we had a one bar pullback on the 8 hour, and pretty much came back to test the level. There it is. There, you see a big pin bar off that level. Oscillators are not really agreeing with along at the moment. They are extremely overbought. But if you just look at this, okay, so we did have a big down, big up, so still lots of confusion here. And we obviously need to break through these two weekly highs right there for this to get going. So that's kind of the, let's just call that top of range for now, although it is a really messy range. And then the other thing I didn't really bring into play yesterday, which I should have, but you can see that's a diagonal and that's a retest of that diagonal trend line as well. So let's just leave that in and get down to some lower time frames. Right there you see there's the diagonal. Have a look at that. That's a fairly decent engulfing bar off the level, and didn't quite close on the level, but if I'm going to split hairs about that, you know, I could pick up this pin bar here, and you can see that's fairly dead center on that, or dead center, dead level on that level. Okay, oscillators have crossed over, pointing up. They have separated as well. So this to me is looking like a potential flag. I'm just going to add another bit of noise to the chart just to really make it messy for you. So there is our flag, solid move up flag. So technically we need to wait for breaks for a continuation up, and that should form a cup and handle as well, or even a head and shoulders, as I said yesterday. So here would be your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. I need to break above this zone before that comes into play. If we start breaking below the lows of yesterday, then I would expect a big down. So it would be big down, big up, big down, big up. So just the big confusion. That's kind of where we are at the moment. We are above the moving averages right now, and this could be seen as a test of the break of the moving averages as well, but nothing confirmed as of yet. Right, now you can see why I drew that in there. You can see how we are just testing it. We're just above it, and that's just there to trap those of us who think that it is a flag and we jump in early, and then often what happens is pushes down again, trigger stops, and then goes off, or alternatively it does go in the opposite direction. So always wait for the confirmation when you start looking at patterns like this. Right, so you can see that was the level, a bit of chaos that we were bouncing off. We have bounced off it in the past, so take it with a pinch of salt. Nice little inside bar on the hour as well. Grouping of the oscillators with diversions. That was a beautiful setup. I was not around and watching this yesterday, so anyway, that should have been taken. But I think the opening section of this big up, big down, and then another big up, that's just big confusion and above and below the moving averages. So not really conducive to jumping in for a move to the upside. And you can see it a lot clearer on the 15-minute. You can see this is, what time was this? 11 GMT, 1 my time. So that's heading into the afternoon session, which I don't typically trade. So you can see there are gaps here, massive gaps. I'm not entirely convinced that we're going to get a break. Probably some kind of a pullback onto structure again. So yeah, for me, yesterday was a big up, big down day. Typical Monday, no real structure. We could be forming something here, but I think what I'd be looking for, because we are pretty much where the market closed roughly at the moment, so I'd be looking for, let's go like this. That's probably the best bet. Just put a level on for us. So that was the swing high during during the cash market open. Okay, this is after markets. This is all the US market moves. So for me, I'm going to want to see a break and retest of 16,100 before I start getting too excited about this flag. That is the one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is you just look at, I don't have a block on my things, but if you draw a range here across the highs and the lows of this morning, just before the market opens, and treat that as a range. So DAX opens around 8 o'clock. That first hour is pre-market, so you include that first hour of trading. That's your range. If you start breaking to the upside, then there's a high probability you're going to continue to the upside, and you can take that. Your first target area obviously is going to be up here, 61.84. But I'm going to want to see decent breaks, to be honest, of yesterday's high. It's this swing high of yesterday, not so much this one. And support on this level before jumping in, and that's at 16,100. So that's kind of my view today. We do have earnings kicking off quite aggressively today and this week and next week. Some big potential, well, not potential, but big market cap players that are releasing earnings. So there is potential for noise. Keep that in the back of your mind. And there's always politicians trying to cause something, so keep your ears open for that as well. Anyway, that's kind of me. Hope it helps. Drop us a thumbs up if it does, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.